I've got a little work if you're interested, traveler.
We might better understand the vagaries of life and death. It is through the ebb and flow of this cosmic tide that we find renewal, and in the end,
So if you've been following along, I'm going to show you guys how to set up the game. First thing you want to do is head straight over to your settings. The first thing I would do is change the difficulty to whatever is comfortable. Now I would recommend starting off with Master because Legendary is basically one tap. It's a one tap simulator. So Master helps out with that a little bit. Once we leave from the difficulty, we will go straight to brightness, max the brightness out. Well, it might depend on your monitor or TV, whatever you're using. But if you can't see, it's usually because of the brightness. I recommend maxing it out because it's not too bright. After that, you want to go down to your depth of field. We're going to go all the way up and then drop it down by 2. This will make it so that the performance of the game is much, much better. If you max it out, it just creates so much lag, it's not even worth playing. So drop it down by 2 and you'll see a big difference. As far as your controls, you can follow this control scheme if you want, but it's all up to you. My new control settings doesn't actually apply. It applies every other thing but the quick menu. So I had to create my own menu, and that was the left stick. So to go to your character menu, it'll be the left stick. Choose your weapon of choice and see if your animations and stuff are working. They seem to be smooth. You want to jump and do all types of certain things, you know. Just make sure everything is in check. This is also where you want to go straight down to your powers and select the power of self vision. This will help you align your camera up. You can do high, it's up to you. You can align it to the far right, to the far left if you want. It's all up to you and the field of view. Also, I recommend doing your zoom. You can either choose very close or close for the minimum, and then your maximum is very far. So for me, changing my camera is right stick. If you hold the right stick and slide it back, like I can't do it in here at the moment, but oh, I can't do it actually. You can adjust it. The reason why it's not showing is because I didn't apply it, but you can slide your camera back and forth. Once your camera is set up, go back into your powers, select configure wildcat. You don't want to disable it. You want to leave everything as default up to this point. Now, this is up to you. To make the game harder and more realistic, I would activate full body staggers. This will completely change the way that Skyrim even feels. So we activate it. We do not want to disable injuries. I prefer switching to burst injuries because it seems to be the most realistic one. We're going to do 50, 30. Those are really good. Those are really good standards. You do not want to disable your injury stagger just for realism purposes unless it gets too difficult. Everything else you can pretty much leave and read it up to your own self. It's up to you if you want these. I personally disable this, and I also disable the melee boost. And I keep the power just in case I don't want, I don't want these settings. So we're going to keep it for now. Now, as far as dynamic display, since we're inside of an interior, this is my preset. You can do your presets all you want. Just increase the depth of field all the way up to 45 or 50, and then you want to switch the type to type 3. This is for exterior near. This makes it so that everything has a good it has a good blur effect. It makes depth of field look even more rich than what it is. Now, after you select that, it's up to you if you want to do the contrast, saturation. That's all preference and taste. But just for the video's purpose, I'm going to go to Pressman, and you want to set as default. That's preset. This will do all interiors. So you see how it says set current interior or exterior present as default type. You want to do this, you want to say yes because this is the interior. So every interior that you go in will actually have this, from my experience. And then when you go outside, you want to do the, as a matter of fact, I'll show you what it looks like outside. Okay, so now that we're outside, we can go ahead and adjust outside here. You want to do the same with the depth of field. Either 45 or 50. Anything higher than that makes everything look blurry. And then for exterior, you want to do, it's up to you if you want to do type 1 or type 2. Type 2 makes it so that let's see. I don't know if you can see the difference here, but the trees behind this one here is actually a little bit blurry and with type 2, but with type 1 it'll make it so that the mountain's just blurry. This helps out with the quality issue. Sometimes the LOD, the load over distance, I believe is what it's called. Sometimes that doesn't load in properly and it looks ugly. Just depends. So after that, you want to go to your books. We have a lot of books in here. First thing you want to do is check out your enemy health indicator. That's what EHI is. Personally, I like to take the health bars off. Now, the reason why I take the health bars off is because when I enter SWF for the menus, you can add widgets such as a mini map. Let's go ahead and just scale it so it can show. Now you can do different scales, its position, its XY position and all of that. So that's a very good thing about these widgets. You can move them anywhere on the screen. So we're going to activate them just to see. I'm just going to move the clock over so you can see what it looks like. You can even do Dragon Claw. If you add the Dragon Claws, that'll change your health and your magic into actual claws. So on the left you see health and on the right you see the magic. Those will deplete over time. So if I sprint, a green one will come out of nowhere, and that's the health orb. So these are Dragon Claws. That's up to you if you really want those. Personally, I keep it disabled. And you can also do HUD defaults. This is where you change your health, stamina, and magic, all of these other indicators. You can change the position of all of these. Then you can go to more and then do enemy health. Enemy health will pop up right below where my character is standing. If you leave it at default, it should be above the subtitles, but you may want to change it anywhere else you want it. It's up to you. After you're done setting up your HUD, you want to click Jump Start. Now, my game is pretty glitched out, so it's not really gonna show too many things on the menus, but you want to go to Run Speed. It's gonna be set to 175 on your screen if it pops up. I just have to reset for it to actually pop up, but you want to drop it down to about 125 or so you can still feel a speed boost when you sprint, but 175 is just a little too much in my opinion. And this is how you can change your jump styles, whether you want to blink, have a heavy jump, you want to ragdoll, or just a standard jump. It's up to you. The jump start mod also makes it so that you can sprint and jump at the same time. And the last thing that we'll be doing in the book section is toggle eye adaption. So when you download this mod, all of the eye adaption in Bloom is set off. If you decide to keep your eye adaption disabled, it's going to end up making it so that when you look at fires and you wait or enter certain places, like some fires in some rooms might be extremely bright. The only way you can fix that is opening up your map and then just exiting out. If that doesn't work, if it keeps you in a local map like this, just back out into the world map and that'll actually fix it too. So yeah, just do either or to see which one works, and it should fix it if it's overly bright. Now, if you're playing survival, we're gonna go ahead and go to survival mode under powers, survival mode settings, and again the HUD isn't coming up, but this is just asking you what percentage do you want it to drain. So I'm gonna do it 50% drainage on my food, 50% on the fatigue, but cold 75. The regular default settings are just way too fast. Like, you get hungry every 2 minutes, and it's just ridiculous. So we're gonna half that. So once you do your survival settings, let's go to visible favorited gear. You want to activate that and turn it on. So anything you favorite would actually appear on your back. And lastly, you want to go to your alteration spells and select cheat teleport. This is going to be for balance and purposes. So you want to go to cheat room. So that this game isn't overbearing, select 100. And you want to add 100 points to your health, stamina, and magic. It's up to you, but definitely your health. If you want to keep these values default, that's up to you. But you definitely want to have at least 200 health so that you don't get one tap by everything. This ensures that you get a very good balance feel. Like, oh, I got hit in the arm. I'm close to death though. He almost chopped it off. Just a good simulator for realism. So that's why I recommend increasing the health up. Now there's one more thing. You also want to go to your alteration spells and go to sensitivity options. This is for your vertical control. So you can change the sensitivity of your vertical controls by this way. So sometimes the vertical might be too high or too low. So if you use slow time, the shout, your vertical might actually start going up and down super fast. This is how you default that and fix it. And also, if you don't like the settings of Skyrim and you want something better on that regard, you can change your vertical sensitivity this way. So with all of that being said, your Skyrim is pretty much set up. Just pretty much ignore all these little HUD settings you see here. I'm sure when you get around to it, you'll customize it and put it in places that you would like it to be, if you even want to use it. That is how you set up the Skyrim. Of course, you have the freedom of choice to do whatever it is you want, or even see what it's like at default. That's completely up to you. But this is just a template for you to run off and then, just adjust at your own leisure. But if you liked the video, leave a like on it. I appreciate you stopping by, and I'll see you later.